Good afternoon, and welcome to the Mountain View Chamber of Commerce's Back to Business series. I'm Peter Kapp, CEO of the Mountain View Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined by our Programs and Events Manager, Courtney Bennett. Each week on Back to Business, we feature topics and experts related to challenges that are top of mind for our business community during these challenging times. Today, we'll be discussing ways to stay engaged with your customers and how to run your business when in-person contact is so severely limited. We are delighted to welcome one of the leading experts on digital marketing, Dave Meyer, with the Grow with Google Partner Program. Dave speaks all over the world and also runs his company BusyWeb out of Minneapolis, which I believe is where he is now.
I am.
So without further ado, let me hand things over to Dave.
All right, thanks everyone and welcome. As we get started, I just wanted to share a couple of housekeeping details with you. First and foremost, I am Dave Meyer and I am all over the country and all over the world for Google on their behalf. My last in-person event was in Anchorage, Alaska, right before all of the COVID lockdowns hit. And I really miss being in front of folks and being able to chat with you in person. So sometime I hope to see you face to face, but until then, we'll just have to do all of this virtual stuff. The benefits of the virtual are kind of fun though. You will get a recording of this event after, so don't feel like you have to jot down all kinds of notes. If you have something that pops out and that is top of mind that you'd like to categorize by, jot down that note, but you will get a recording. And as well, on the screen, there's also a downloadable document in the GoToWebinar control panel. So it's under handouts, and this is the overview of the tools that we're going to walk through today. So not only the big stuff like Google My Business, Meet, and Drive, but there's also a handy overview on how to update your business on Google My Business and to keep your business information up to date. There's also a space in the GoToWebinar control panel for asking questions. So would love to have you questions. This time is your time, and I'm going to be watching that space for any questions that pop up. Don't feel like you shouldn't ask a question. This is absolutely your time, and if you're thinking it, I'll almost guarantee that other folks are thinking that same question. So we will take those questions in line, or if it looks like we're getting a ton of questions, I might stop at a few pause points and just go over that as makes sense. So those are my big things. And again, Dave Meyer and a marketing agency called BusyWeb in my spare time when I'm not traveling for Google. And so there's a good chance that I've probably seen, heard, or done whatever you have a question about. So even if it's not directly related to what we're going to talk about today, feel free. If it's anything related to marketing, search engine optimization, advertising, social media, would love to help and answer those questions for you. I'm going to blink in and out on my video, and especially when there's bigger screens that don't or that require a lot of information, I'll probably hide my face, but I'll try to keep that mixed up a little bit. So let's get started. First, in this presentation, we're going to cover the important things that you need to do to update your business information online and to work remotely. In the current environment with COVID and the stay-at-home orders and just the fact that most folks, or at least a good solid chunk of people, aren't working from their normal offices or having their normal day, there's a lot of Google tools that can help you stay productive no matter where you are. First, we're going to talk about how to update your customers with critical business information through your Google My Business profile, Google Ads, and your website. Then we're going to cover how to communicate remotely with your customers and employees using tools like Google Meet and Gmail, and how to access and collaborate on files with your team through Google Drive. One note, all of the products that we're talking about today are completely free, with the exception of Google Ads, and you can use Google Ads, but as soon as you start to advertise, you're going to pay for those ads. That's the only investment that you would need to make inside of all of these conversations or tools. Finally, we're also going to share steps and resources available to help you just keep on doing business. One thing I'd like to note is that most of you have probably heard of G Suite, which is a suite of products designed for the workplace and for collaboration, storage, communication, and more. Everything that I'm going to show you today not only works with G Suite, but also with what Google calls the consumer version of their tools. That's why you probably call your regular Google account or maybe your personal Google account. In a few places where things are different than just your Gmail account or a regular Google account, I will let you know where that separation is. To use any of the tools that I'm going to go over today, you need to be signed in to your Google account. What's a Google account? Well, if you have a Gmail address, you automatically have a Google account. If your organization uses G Suite and you're linked into that, you also have a Google account. However, just having an account doesn't necessitate that you have an official link with Google or with Google and Gmail. So you can have your domain name, and that domain name, so if it's your email address is bob@yourcompany.com, bob@yourcompany.com can be made into a Google account simply by going into accounts.google.com. So if you don't have an account, go ahead and click that, go to accounts.google.com, click create account, and then you'll be able to use all of the tools that we're sharing and talking about today. Let's talk about how to update your customers with any new and critical business information. Things are changing rapidly right now, and it's really important to keep on top of everything in your business. And so to that end, I want to share with you 3 big tools. First, Google My Business, which is the tool that shows your business on Google Search, but also on Google Maps. Google Ads, which is the way to, of course, drive traffic exactly when, exactly where and how, and exactly to whom you're trying to reach. And your website, which is the foundation of everything that you should be doing on the web and your one spot that you truly and completely own. Let's go over each one. First, with Google My Business, it's important to reflect any changes in your business due to today's environment. When people are searching for you on Google Maps, one of the things that they're going to want to know is if your business isn't accepting customers at your physical location. And so you can pause your viewership. You can actually mark yourself as temporarily closed. You can alter your Outlook. You can alter the notifications and messaging if you change your hours of operation, so on and so forth. So Google My Business is a free service that allows you to create and manage a business profile. That business profile is what shows up when people are looking for your business on Google. And so if they type your business's name, in this case, Honest Soul Yoga, if they type Honest Soul Yoga, you'll show up in the upper right-hand corner of the Google search pane on desktop. This is what it looks like in mobile. And so you would see this on a mobile device. This is also how it shows up whenever people are searching on Google Maps. So if you're wondering, if you've ever wondered how people have, carefully curated photos and helpful information and how to manage and look at the reviews that people are doing, in this case, Honest Soul Yoga has 191 reviews. That's all managed through this tool called Google My Business. Once you create and verify your business profile, you can edit the information Google displays and keep your business details up to date. In today's environment, there's some important updates you can and should make to your business profile so your customers see the most accurate information about your business. Please know, as a precautionary measure for Google support specialists in light of COVID-19, they are operating with a limited team, which may affect the timing of some of your updates. For additional guidance on making these updates to your business profile, please visit google.com/business. The first area to consider when updating Google My Business is your business description. You can use the business description area to update your customers with any major changes in your business and whatever is most important for them to know. If you have a new mask policy, if you're limiting your hours of operation, if you're changing something, you can add what's called a COVID-19 notice, and that pops up in a special red banner on the Google My Business profile. Once you've gone in and edited and added that COVID-19 update, or just simply changed your business description, simply click apply and your update will be sent for review and then publish. If your hours of operation have changed, be sure to make the update in your Google My Business profile. You can update your business hours through your profile, dashboard, or the mobile app. And the mobile app is available on both Android and iOS devices. It's simply called Google My Business. From the dashboard menu, go to Info, click on the pencil icon next to your hours to make your changes. From the mobile app, you'll simply click on Profile, scroll down to the clock icon, and click on that section and edit your hours. This is especially important during not only these strange times, but also any holidays. We have a couple of summer holidays coming up. So if, for example, you are changing your hours on Labor Day, you would want to make sure that you mark your business either open, closed, or any special hours that you have. Worthy of note that if you haven't updated your hours on the Google My Business account, for those special hours, it's going to say that your business may be closed when people try to navigate to you. So it's very important to lock in and to make the changes on your hours at that time. Google My Business posts are another great feature to use to update your customers during these times. Posts allow you to provide live updates directly on your business profile. You can communicate news, share information, encourage reservations, promote an email newsletter, and much more. I'll share some post ideas in a moment. Posts appear within the body of your Google My Business profile on search and maps. If you share or if you create posts from the Google My Business mobile app or web dashboard, add text, one or more images, video, and a link to your website, for example, and it pops up right on the top of your listing inside of Google My Business. All uploaded media must meet the following size requirements. At a minimum, it needs to be 400 by 300 pixels and a 10 kilobyte minimum. So you can't just drag an itty bitty little picture on there. But as a maximum, 10,000 by 10,000 pixels and a 25 megabyte size limit. Also worthy of note that if you upload a 25 megabyte file, it's not going to download well. Google will automatically resize that image so that it's rendering correctly on the web. In general, you should probably try to downsample your images so that they're easy to load over a 3G network, for example, whenever possible, because there's always spots where we're outside of the normal Wi-Fi that we're reaching, and especially in some of the hills in the Bay Area, it can be a little bit tough to get a solid signal. You can also see how posts are influencing potential customers by reviewing their activity from the Google My Business dashboard. The type of posts available to you are dependent on your business category. If you're a restaurant, you have the ability to add menus. If you're a service business, you might have specific hours or location availability, etc. In your account, you may have the option of a COVID-19 post, as we mentioned before, and you can use that to update the status of your business as things evolve. I promised a couple of post examples, and here's a few that you might want to try. What's New posts are great to provide general news and information about your business. In the example on the left, some businesses may be able to create a post that offer gift certificates that can be purchased now and used at a later date. Or you may also want to add a post for a virtual event you're holding. Event posts can include photos, videos, texts, and a call to action to provide more information, drive signups, or other actions. One note, I am going to share a tool later that will help you have a virtual event over a tool called Google Meet. Event posts are live for the time period that you specify. You can hold virtual office hours, events, workshops, parties, unveilings or unboxings, or anything else that you think would be valuable or interesting to your potential customers. In this example, a spa is holding a virtual facial party event. Your business category may also include product posts. You can use these to emphasize a specific product that your business sells. Right now, you may have products that are helpful during these times that your customers should know about. Product posts require a title and photo or video. You can also include a CTA or call to action and any other information on that button. Another great feature that is going to be helpful in these virtual times is messaging. This feature allows you to connect with your customers in real time. Responding to customers can help you answer their questions and share any critical business updates as they happen. To turn on messaging, simply sign into your business profile through the mobile app and click the Customers tab and Messages at the top middle. You'll be prompted to set up an automated welcome message that customers will get whenever they message you. If you're working differently these days or with limited hours, update your automated welcome message with that information so that your customers know what to expect. Your customers will see a message button on your business profile. When someone messages you, it'll appear in the mobile app, and you can answer them from there with text and even photos if you like. You can also set up email notifications to alert you when you have a new message. It's important to note with messages that although messages interact and use a tool very similar to SMS or text messaging, you are never sharing your actual phone number over the messages tool. You can receive messages at your phone and respond via text message, but it simply comes back to the customer as from your business, and you don't see your actual phone number when people are reviewing that account. It's a great time to add managers to help monitor your business profile. To add a manager from the web dashboard, simply click on Users in the left side navigation. From the app, click More and then Manage Users. Click the plus icon at the top right corner and add the email addresses of the managers you'd like to invite. There's 4 access levels: primary owner, that's you unless you transfer ownership, co-owners, managers, who can do almost everything that owners can do except delete the profile or transfer ownership, and site managers. They have more limited access to the business profile. Basically, they can make posts, they can review things and look at reports, but they can't add other people. You can also add people in batches based on the level of access that you'd like to give them. When you're done, click Invite to send an email to the new page managers. Once they open the email and accept the invitation, you'll see them listed as authorized managers. As the owner, you can revoke access to the business profile or transfer ownership. By the way, inviting another person to have access as a manager on your business profile does not give them access to any other Google products that you might use, like Gmail. In other words, they can't read your email or access any of your other personal Google applications simply because you've given them access to the Google My Business profile. If you do need to mark your business as temporarily closed, a new feature has been added that allows you to do just that. On your computer, sign into Google My Business. In the menu, on the left, click Info. To the right, go to the section Close This Business on Google. To expand this section, you might need to click the arrow. From there, you can click Mark as Temporarily Closed. You want to make sure that you mark the temporarily closed, not permanently closed, unless that's what happens with your business. If you do have multiple profiles, select the profile that you want to change and then follow the same steps to mark your business as temporarily closed. Now, this is my pause point, so I'm actually going to turn my video back on and encourage you, if you have any questions about Google My Business specifically, to go ahead and ask those. Again, it's in the GoToWebinar control panel. So the panel that's showing up probably on the right-hand side of your screen. If you scroll down, you'll be able to go to the questions tool and check it out. And also note under handouts, there is that handout that I promised you, and that is the PDF that gives you an overview of all of the tools that we're talking through today. So if you have a question, by all means, post away and let me know. Making sure we're good. I think we're wonderful. Okay, so Ben, or Brienne, Carlos, Don, Rashad, Shauna, Sheldon, if you have any questions, would love to hear from you. All right, let's continue on and talk about Google Ads. Ads can appear on Google when people look for the product or service that you offer. You're in Mountain View, you guys know exactly what ads do, but it lets you target exactly who, exactly where, and exactly when you're trying to reach specific people with exactly the message that you're trying to get them to take. And it's very important and very helpful in laser targeting exactly the right people at exactly the right time for your business. However, if we have ads that we're running, there's a good chance that you might need to make some small changes given the rapidly changing environment that we're all facing. So let's talk through a few of those and how you can modify or pause your ads. Again, if you have specific questions or to make changes, you go to ads.google.com. And if you do have ad credits, you can check out the information there at g.co/COVID-19/ad credits. That's if you are not able to use your ad budget and you want to take that credit for later. So when making modifications to your ads, first evaluate your current ad campaigns. Review all of your advertising assets thoroughly. For example, think about the appropriateness of images and videos that might show large gatherings of unmasked people or other human interaction that's just not happening right now. Update your customers with business changes and communicate what's necessary for them to know now in these times. Also consider if your message is helpful. For example, edit your ads as needed to let customers know if you offer services like delivery or in-store pickup. Review your shipping settings and estimated delivery time to ensure that you accurately reflect your current capabilities for your business. Lastly, consider the context and tone of your headlines, descriptions, and landing pages. Make sure you're sensitive to how certain words may make your audience feel right now. Be careful about double meanings of words like protection, checkup, prevention, virus, or viral. For international campaigns, be aware of local terms that have been used to reference COVID-19 and regional disruptions. If you need to pause a campaign, you can do that as well. Sign into your Google Ads account, and then next to each campaign name, you'll see a green dot indicating the status of each of your campaigns. To change a campaign status, simply click on that status icon, then click pause to place the campaign on hold. Pausing a campaign will stop those ads from showing until you resume your campaign, and you won't accrue charges while they're paused. To resume a campaign, simply click enable, and your ad will start running again. Next, we're going to go over the home base for you on the World Wide Web, your personal or business website. It's important to update your site with any critical information, news, and announcements affecting the operation of your business and your customers. Share a main announcement on the homepage of your site like this if your hours or operations have been modified. I work with dozens of businesses, and we've added that announcement to all of our client pages because that's what people are looking for. When they're looking for your business, they're not only going to find you on Google Maps or on the Google account page inside of search, you're also going to be, people are going to look at your website for that helpful information. If you're only doing takeout as a restaurant, very important to update that. If people can visit, they're probably nervous or concerned about how safe you're being, and so you can offer up your COVID-19 statement that shares how you're currently cleaning the office every day, or the kinds of interactions, or the fact that you're not only wearing masks, but you're also wearing face shields, or whatever else might be happening or necessary for your business. It's of course very different by different kinds of business, and everyone has different levels of not only interaction, but also comfort. So make sure that your website has been updated to match whatever your new normal is. And people are looking for that, so make sure that you're posting it. Now that we've covered how to remotely update key areas of critical information to your customers, let's talk about how to communicate best with both customers and employees when you simply can't meet with them in person. Google Meet allows you to hold video meetings with people inside or outside of your organization. You don't need a Google account to participate in Meet meetings. However, if you don't have a Google account, the meeting or organizer of someone from the organization must grant you access into the meeting. Note, if you're not signed into a Google or Gmail account, you can't join using your mobile device using Google Meet. So what is Google Meet? First, you can host and join meetings from any device. Advanced features include the ability to screen share. There's some new features that are popping out kind of on a rolling basis. Some of those include the ability to blur your background or to share screens and or even record. People don't need any plugins or special software for Google Meet as long as they're connected to the internet. They can connect with you on Meet. For optimal performance, people should be using Google Chrome for Google Meet, and it's baked right in where you can see that inside of the Google Chrome tools. Because so many people are working from home right now, Google is extending advanced Meet capabilities to all G Suite customers. That means that people who use Meet through G Suite can have meetings with up to 250 participants, and they can record meetings as well. For individuals, it's up to 100. Those expanded capabilities are available to G Suite users at no charge through the end of 2 months from now, September 30th. For all Google Meet users, you can feel confident that your meetings are completely secure. All your meetings and recordings are encrypted. Best of all, the security features in Meet are turned on by default, so that in most cases, you won't have to do anything to ensure the right protections are in place. There are some minor differences between the paid and free versions of Google Meet. When I say paid, I'm referencing Google's G Suite accounts. This is if you use Google as your email for your .com, .net, .org account. So if it's your name at yourcompany.com and you're using the Gmail interface or the Google interface for that, then you're using a G Suite account. The differences are listed right on this page. For the free account, for anything that would be like a Gmail account, that would be 100 participants inside of a Meet. With business, it's 250. Maximum duration is 1 hour, or for some reason, if you need to have a 300-hour-long meeting, you can do that inside of Meet on Business. You can join from browser and mobile apps on both, but you cannot record meetings or do in-domain live streams. So yourcompany.com live streams right on the website. You can, however, on the business version. Price per user is free through the end of September for everyone. And then it's going to, or the account notice, the maximum duration per the meeting is going to be 24, or it's actually 24 hours for the maximum duration on the account until September 30th for free accounts. So you can have a day-long meeting. You could, for example, have a conference and have people come in and out of that meeting. You just can't record it if you're just using a personal account. So you've all probably seen Meet, but I want to cover a few ways that you can use it in some ways that you might not have thought about before. Having a Meet rather than just an audio call really helps people feel connected. If you haven't tried Meet, or if you haven't tried all of the different opportunities, here's a few to give a shot. You're probably used to having in-person brainstorming meetings with your team. Those can carry over to Meet easily. If you normally meet with clients in person, encourage your clients to schedule consultations with you via Google Meet. And you can even host online classes or virtual get-togethers with Meet. If you've heard of the phenomenon of the virtual happy hours, I get together with some of my friends from all over the country and even locally to share a beer, have a conversation. We just have our laptops in front of us and keep those at the kitchen table. You can do that very easily over Meet. Like a lot of Google tools, there are different ways to connect with Google Meet. You can go directly to meet.google.com, which is great for spur-of-the-moment conversations or meetings, or you can set up a meeting invitation in Google Calendar and designate it as a Google Meet. There's a simple button if you're in your Google Calendar to add a meet inside of there. When you're in Google Meet, you'll have some settings which you can control. I'm going to show you those features in a few slides, but let me walk you through a couple other ways to start a Meet. First, the easiest way, again, is through meet.google.com. This is perfect for impromptu meetings and conversations. From the website, meet.google.com, all you have to do is click Join or Start a Meeting. No matter how you access Meet, you'll have a variety of options that you can use. Remember, you don't need a Google account to participate in Meet video meetings. However, if you don't have a Google account, the meeting organizer or someone from the organization must grant you access to that meeting. If you're not signed into a Google or Gmail account, you can't join using your mobile device. If you want to schedule a meeting in advance, even if it's later that same day, you can do that through Google Calendar. This is the second way to schedule a Google Meet. You can find your calendar at calendar.google.com, or if you're in Gmail, you can simply click the little Rubik's Cube looking button up at the top and go into Calendar. Once you're in your calendar, double click on a time and day that you'd like to have a meeting. Add the title and start filling in the details. If you want to add a meet, you can do that here by clicking Add Video Conferencing. You'll see a drop-down that says Join with Google Meet. Click on that to schedule your video meeting. Within your meeting, you can also click More options to add information about the meeting, add guests by entering their email addresses, add notes, and other options. When you finish setting up that meeting, you simply click Save and it sends an invite to anyone that you've invited to that meeting. This screenshot of the calendar is what it looks like in the G Suite version of the tool. The experience in the consumer version will look just a little bit different, but the process of setting up a meeting is very, very similar. With either version, when you click More options, you can fill out more details about your meeting. When you save the meeting on your calendar, everyone that you invited to the meeting will get an email invitation that looks like this. They can let you know if they can make the meeting or not. If you go back into the meeting on your own calendar, you'll see who has replied yes, who said no, and who hasn't replied at all. When it's time to actually start your meeting, you simply go back to your calendar, click on that meeting, and then click Join with Google Meet. Everyone who you invited to the meeting will do the same thing in their calendar, or they can go to their emails and join the meeting by clicking the link that they received when you sent out the invite. When you click on the link, you'll see a screen similar to this with a big bar that says Join Meeting. And as you can see, people can even join the meeting from their phone. If people on your team have a computer without a camera, most likely they'll have one on their phone. So I showed you a couple different ways to initiate a meet. Let's look at different features of Google Meet. Here's a screenshot of how Meet looks with 9 people participating. You can mute your microphone or turn off your camera. You can do that by clicking on the gray microphone or camera icon on the bottom of the screen. You can see in the middle box on the left column, the man in the gray shirt is on mute. The symbol for that is the red microphone with a strike through. That signals to everyone that his microphone is off. If someone had turned their camera off, you simply wouldn't see their live face. Instead, you'd see their Google account profile if they have one, or you'd see a static icon with just their first initial. Even when people are on a video call, there are times when you want to communicate via chat. This is useful when one person wants to share links to other files. It's also useful when asking for information from a larger group. Or participants can send the group a typed message without interrupting the speaker. Anyone in the meeting can simply click on the chat icon in the top right of the screen and type a message to the rest of the group. If someone in the meeting wants to show a file or document that's on their computer with the rest of the group, they can share their screen by clicking Present Now. The person sharing in their screen may have multiple windows open on their screen. When they select Present Now, Google will ask which they want to share. They can select what view they want to share with other people in the meeting. Also worthy of note that with Chrome tab, you can share videos or YouTube accounts or other things that have either audio or other interactivity, and that shows up just like you would on if you were all sharing the screen together. But you definitely want to make sure that you mute your microphone if you're sharing a Chrome tab, like for a YouTube video, because you'll get an echo if you don't. Meet also allows you to record meetings to Google Drive, safely storing the recording for the meeting owner after the recording is stopped or the meeting ends. This would be helpful for something like a live training session that you want to be able to reference later, or to share with people who weren't able to attend that training live. You might want to practice using Meet with a friend or trusted coworker before you have that big meeting with a customer. This is going to help you feel more comfortable with the technology and also with how you look and sound on Meet. Here are some best practices. When you're conducting or participating in a video call, you should keep your camera on. It makes a better impression and helps you stay more engaged. You definitely want to choose a neutral background if you're able and reduce area clutter behind your back or behind your camera. People are going to get distracted if you have all kinds of stuff happening. Likewise, you probably wouldn't want to be in a busy office and have it facing other people walking around all masked about if you can avoid it. An external microphone may provide better sound quality than the one built into your device, and it's especially great if you plan to conduct any virtual webinars. Note that my voice probably sounds pretty clean and clear. If you're having problems with a lot of echo, simply move the camera closer or move the microphone closer to your face. I'm going to turn on my video for this. I have my virtual microphone sitting right here, and if I get very close, that echo completely goes away. However, I've got my microphone pushed a little bit further back just so that it doesn't show up on screen, and also because I tend to talk with my hands a lot, and you'll catch that if I bang the mic with my hands. One final thing about microphones, when you're not speaking, it's probably best to mute your microphone and limit moving around so as not to distract or take away from the person speaking. All right, so we covered Google Meets. Now I want to cover another fantastic way to collaborate, and that's using the unsung hero of all of Gmail's tools, or Google's tools, Gmail. If your business practices have changed, you can set up an out-of-office auto reply to automatically notify people about your new operations. When people send you an email, they'll receive an automated email response containing what you've written in your out-of-office auto reply. To set up a Gmail auto reply, go into the upper right-hand corner of your Gmail screen and click on the gear icon. Some options will drop down. You simply want to click Settings. In the Settings area, go to the General tab, scroll down to the Vacation Responder area. Type on the first day that you want the auto reply to start, and then you can also put in a last day, or simply leave that blank and open if you want it to go on in perpetuity. Add a subject line for your response, and then type in the content of your email. Click Save Changes, and your auto reply is set. It's worthy of note that auto responses can be a little overbearing, so you want to make sure that you're careful with this. This might be on an account that you don't check often, or you might set it to only be on for specific times of day every day. You can certainly do that as part of your account. The only problem is that there's not a way to automatically run times inside of the Vacation Responder tool. Instead, it would be by day, so you would simply turn it on and off when you don't want to get notified or when you don't have the ability to answer or respond to messages. Also worthy of note that you should probably only use this tool when absolutely necessary, because it is sending out messages. And if you receive a lot of spam, if you send auto replies, when you receive a lot of or unwanted messages, when you auto reply to that, that is sending a signal that your email is a valid address. So you might want to be careful with that. As well, if you use a specific tool such as Outlook or Apple's email tools, you can usually set out-of-office responders inside of those tools, but you can always do this and override by adding or just going on to the web version of Gmail and logging in. This is particularly helpful if you're in G Suite and you're away from your computer and you want to add in that out of office. I want to also talk about how you can access your files from wherever you might be. It's important when managing your business remotely that you're able to access everything that you work on and also to work with others online. For that, my favorite tool for collaboration is Google Drive. Google Drive houses your Google applications, things like Google Sheets, Docs, and Gmail, and other apps made by third parties. Google Drive is a cloud storage software you can access by logging into your Google account from any device. To access Google Drive from within your account, click on the grid icon at the upper right-hand corner of the screen. If you're already in another Google app like Gmail, you can find the grid icon at the upper right corner in any of those apps there too. When you click on that grid icon, or what I called the Rubik's Cube earlier, you'll see the Google Drive icon, as well as icons for other Google apps. Most likely the ones that you use most will show up first. Using Google Drive lets you upload and download files in different formats, such as Word or PowerPoint, share files with people inside or outside your organization, access files from anywhere, whether you're on or offline, and you can even set up your files to access them when you're offline. For example, if you're going to be in a spot away from Wi-Fi. You can upload any type of Google Drive or any type of file to Google Drive, whether they originated in Google or not. You can upload Microsoft Word docs, Excel spreadsheets, photos that you took on your phone, videos, and much more. You can also bring your files into Google Drive by finding them on your hard drive and simply dragging them into your Google Drive. Make sure you use folders to organize your files to retrieve information easily and seamlessly when you need them. And also make sure to title each one of your files, because that makes it much, much easier to find inside of search. You can also convert certain types of files to web-based Google Doc formats, such as Google Docs, Sheets, or Slides. Google Docs is Google's version of Microsoft's Word, Sheets is Excel, Slides is PowerPoint, and the interoperability and interchangeability is quite seamless between those tools. But Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides allows you to seamlessly and easily collaborate in real time, and you never have to worry about clicking save or losing information as you might in some of the other apps. I also want to show you an easy tool to collaborate. I mentioned it just before, but here's how you actually do bring other people in to collaborate on a document. Once you create a document, especially in Google Docs, you might want feedback from others. I already mentioned you can share files with other people, but you can see here there's a blue share button at the upper right-hand corner of the screen. When you click on that, you can add the emails of the people you want to share it with and also assign their editing level. Here's how to add comments to your files. First, click or highlight the word or phrase you want to comment on. In this example, I used, "Have we started looking for her replacement?" There are a couple of different ways to add a comment. I recommend you go to the top of the screen and find the plus icon. You can see at the top of the example here that we added a callout that says add comment. That's where the plus icon is. Click on that plus icon and you'll get a little pop-up where you can type in your comment. When you do that, everyone who has access to the file can see your comment. Even better, you can alert or assign someone to the comment. Take a look at the right side of the screen that I'm showing, and here Randy assigned and alerted Pamela about a comment that she wanted her to know about. You tag someone in a comment by typing a plus sign or an @ sign, or the @ sign from emails, and the email address of the person that you want to alert. You can see in this example that Randy typed @pamela@example.com and then typed in her comment. Once you do that, you're given the option to assign the comment to that person as well. This comment is assigned to Pamela, so now she knows she's responsible for answering and resolving that comment. When you alert or assign a comment to someone, they get an email notification. They can go into that document, read the comment, reply back, make changes, and even resolve if they wish. Any resolved comments disappear from the sidebar of the actual file, but all of the communication is stored in the comment area, which can be accessed through the small gray callout box next to the larger blue share button. So right to the left of the big circle that says share is that comment button. The process works the same way in Google Sheets and Google Slides, and it's also worthy of note that if two people are in this account, for this example, I think you can see my mouse, but P and Randy, so Pamela and Randy are both in this document right now, and Pamela's icon is highlighted purple. You can see that Pamela is editing this particular spot because her purple cursor is sitting right next to that account. If Randy was also editing, and if her circle was blue, you could see a blue cursor and you could see what Randy was actually typing in real time. I find this incredibly helpful if we're all taking notes on a particular meeting, or if we're brainstorming and we're trying to get everything on one path, or if we're all proofing a document together and going through. So my team at BusyWeb, 16 people, we collaborate via Google Docs constantly. One other cool thing, when you store files in your drive, you can give access to different files to different people. Maybe you created a draft agenda for a big event and you want everyone on your event planning committee to have access to that agenda. That's the path I'm showing you on the left side of your screen. But maybe you also have a budget file and you only want one other person to have access to that. That's the path on the right side of the screen. More good news, you can give different people different levels of access to the file. You can give access to edit a file, comment on the file without editing, or just view it without the ability to comment or make changes. You can also give people access to a complete folder and store a group of files in that folder. In that situation, everyone who has access to that folder will also have access to the files within the folder. This is incredibly helpful for group collaboration. And yes, you can give access to people outside of your organization. This makes it perfect for sharing information with your clients or members of your organization. Best of all, you can access Google Drive as well as any of the individual tools from any computer connected to the internet or through your mobile device. You're probably already used to checking your email or calendar from your smartphone. As long as you have Google Drive on your device, you can access and edit the files stored there. And if you know there's a good chance you're going to be without internet access, you can turn on the available offline setting for the files you think you might need when you don't have internet access. For each individual file, you need to go into the File menu and scroll down to Make Available Offline. You need internet access to turn on Make Available Offline. So think about which files you might need offline access to. For example, before you head out on that trip or before you head away to your family cottage, you might want to go through your files and download the ones that you want by clicking Make Available Offline. You must do this on the device that you'll want to use to access the file offline as well. For example, if you want to use your phone to access a file while offline, you must go to the file while online from that phone and adjust the setting there. All right, we've gone through a ton today. I've hit you with a lot of information. This is your chance to ask questions. I'm going to go through a couple of extra resources and things that you can check out. This is your time to ask anything about SEO or advertising tips and tricks, anything that I can help you with. This is your time during the remainder of the event. While I do leave that open for you, and again, just go into questions and type in a question if you have one. Let's go through those final resources and get ready to wrap up. Here's some resources to help you keep learning as we move forward. First, have this checklist available for everything that we talked through today. You definitely want to update your business profile so it accurately reflects your current operations. If you've been doing advertising, take a look at your Google Ads. You may need to modify your ads to make sure that they match tone, that they don't have people walking around without masks or in large crowds, or just modify the timing or some of the language. Again, stay away from virus, viral, pandemic, or anything that might be overly sensational. You want to make sure that your advertisements are comforting and helpful, not alarming. And depending on what you're trying to get conversed, you may want to change your titles or your documents depending on what you're doing. But you can change that at any time. And don't forget that you can pause your ads with a simple click of a button at any time and then come right back to them once the situation returns to normal. You also want to make sure that your website is up to date, make sure that you have a pop-up, and that you're clear about what you're doing to keep your customers and your employees safe. Become comfortable with using Google Meet with your team, and if it makes sense, with your clients or customers. You can set up your Gmail vacation responder to provide a bit of quick information to people who email you, especially if you're working reduced hours. You can use Google Drive to store and share your files, and you can learn how to collaborate on docs and spreadsheets using all of the tools in Google Apps. I do have a question here from Shauna, so thank you, Shauna. For a document that we need to have multiple signers sign, what is the best format or doc type to utilize in G Suite? So I believe that there's an integration with DocuSign for physical signing. Worth noting that the tools that are available for free within the G Suite and within Google Docs, there's not a built-in documented signer tool. There are add-ons inside of Google Apps, and I believe DocuSign is one of those apps. You would simply go into your domain settings inside of your G Suite and add the DocuSign tool. Just search for document signatures inside of G Suite, and you'll be able to find the proper tool. Great question. There's lots of options out there, and there are definitely things that are in there, but from the out-of-the-box version of Google's tools, the signature isn't an official tool. However, you may want to add a comment, and remember that all of the comments are tracked and logged, so you will have a response. If you don't need an official legal signature, that might be a good way to go, just to have people signify that, yes, we've read this document and we approve. Next up, I promised you a little bit of resources. The following resources cover everything that I've mentioned in this presentation and much more. The Grow with Google page about remote work at grow.google/remote work gives you all kinds of helpful information on how to do Google Meet, how to interact and connect remotely, and it has small little tutorials on how to do all of these things in video format. Google for Small Business has lots of tools on how to take best advantage of SEO, to manage and modify your Google My Business profile, and to do lots more, as well as small business resources at smallbusiness.withgoogle.com/news. Announces, and it's a running list of everything that's available for you with Google to help your business out. Sometimes there are grants that are available for specific types of businesses. You might get opportunities for additional advertising or for specific ads. And again, there are ads credits if your business has been affected by Google My or by COVID and you need to pause or get refunds or credits. You can do that at the g.co/COVID19/ad credits tool. Very helpful as well, Google Primer. If you're looking for additional ways to kind of stay on top of things, if you're a visual learner and you want to check this out, Google Primer is available from any mobile device, and you can learn whenever you have a few minutes free. These are 3 to 4 minute long tutorials on how to do tons of different stuff. The suggested mini courses include Make Your Website Work Hard for Your Business, Get Online with a Strong Business Website, that's SEO tips and tricks, and connecting with customers by taking your business online. That's helping you and shows you how to set up. One thing that I didn't note, if your business doesn't yet have a website, the Google My Business tool actually allows you to set up a free website using the information that you publish into your Google My Business profile. So very helpful, slick, easy. I've had attendees of my seminars launch their own Google My Business website inside of the time that they were there sitting with me over the talk. Kind of a little bit of multitasking. I'm not 100% in favor of multitasking when I'm talking about stuff, but they got it done. That's what matters. So it's very, very simple. And then if you really want to get deep, Skillshop is a super huge and super fun tool to let you develop specific skills. This was called Academy for Ads and it has expanded into a number of different tools. There's training on Google Ads, Analytics, Google My Business, and much more. The lessons here are categorized based on your level of experience. There's information for beginners, intermediate, and even advanced users, and it's all completely free. Whether you sell online or in-store, you can boost your business with a quick and easy evaluation of your retail website with Grow My Store with Google. Grow My Store scores retailers' websites and generates personalized reports with recommendations to help you improve the online experience you offer to your customers and grow their business. Learn more at g.co/growmystore. And another great resource is our quick help videos. Get answers and learn to make the most of Google's tools in just a few minutes at g.co/grow/quick-help. You'll learn things like how to get your business listed on search and maps, how to create a YouTube channel for your business, and how to start a Google Meet conference. Finally, there's lots and lots of other information available at google.com/grow. It's hard to do that backwards. At google.com/grow, there's info for job seekers to grow their skills in order to find new jobs and advance their careers. There's handy templates for resumes, and there's job search tools inside of that space. Teachers can learn how to put the latest tech to work inside and outside of their classroom. Small business owners can build their online presence and find new customers. Startups can learn how to get the ideas and exposure that they need. And if you're a developer, you can sharpen your current skills and master new ones. That's all available at google.com/grow. We're just about to the top of the hour. I got one question. Thank you very much, Shauna, for that. If you have anything else, I would love to take that here, and I will hang out for a few more moments. If anyone else wants to chime in, you're absolutely welcome. And so Courtney and Peter, if you have any additional stuff that you'd like to add in, would love to have that for you here. There's lots and lots of this kind of information available. The Mountain View Chamber has the Grow with Google team at their disposal. We have about 8 different classes that we offer at this moment. So if you're interested in more, please talk to Peter or Courtney about that. Hey, Peter.
Hey, that was amazing. Thank you for going through all that. There are some fabulous tools here. And as Dave mentioned, so many of these are free, my favorite price. But most importantly, I think, is just the variety of tools that are there and their flexibility in terms of really helping you connect with your businesses remotely, and helping you to really manage your businesses during these really, really challenging times. So I too, and on behalf of the Chamber, we encourage you to take full advantage of these tools that are available. Excuse me.
Thank you, Peter.
Something in my throat. It wasn't COVID.
One last thing, if you ran into something that really resonated with you, you're going to get an email from me about an hour from now with a recording of this event and also a quick request. If something popped for you that you're going to do different in your business, I would love it if you could please respond to my email with an aha that you got. I didn't realize that I could collaborate in Google Docs, and now I can. I'm going to change and pause my ads, whatever that might be. I take the feedback that you give me and I share that with my bosses at Google so that they know that A, this is what's really resonating with business owners, and B, what else we might want to do. So your feedback is incredibly important. Please just reply to that email and say, here's a couple of takeaways. Thank you so much. Perfect. With all that, I think we're at the end of our hour. So thank you all very much for hanging out with us today. And I hope that this helped you grow with Google. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, team.
Thank you, Dave.
Bye, everybody.